doggies. I guess it's been a while because anyway, hi. I hope y'all are doing well. Apparently the governor just announced that we are going to be on stay-at-home orders until April 30th. So hope we're all getting nice and cozy. I can't help but think of this as being some very cosmic joke against Aries, though, since they're very volatile and stubborn and impatient, and it's during Aries season that we're not supposed to go anywhere. But whatever, so it goes. Like I said, I'm going to keep doing my 1 o'clock posts through the rest of this week. You guys will get spring break off. And then we'll come back April 13th and probably be doing Zoom meetings, but I will send out more information about that. Zoom will be nice because that way you can have video or an audio presence and it's not just me, even though I'm just, throwing this out there. Chat box is available. There you go. Just if you'd like. Awesome. So yesterday, moving on. Yesterday I went introduced the von Thunen FRQ, and like I said during the video, if you would like some direct feedback on your FRQ, then submit it through my AP. It'll be good practice for you accessing my AP while we're doing this distance learning. And it also is going to be important if you don't know how to get on my AP, whether it's issues with your login or you forgot your account. It's absolutely no judgment, no shade, no negative consequence. It's just we need to troubleshoot that right away. Okay, so before I'm doing anything really with the FRQ, just because it's so straightforward, I thought what might be more helpful for people is more of a guided review of von Thunen. So I posted this activity to Google Classroom. And so if you can toggle around, you might be able to find it as we talk here. But my plan is just to go through this with you guys. It's not like I'm trying to post videos that are a bit more fun. Hold on one sec. I'm making myself tea. Because, girls gotta do. All right, cool. Alrighty, thank you. So this is hopefully going to be a very guided review of von Thunen, a recap for everything, just so you have all the stuff. Ooh, damage it right away. So why does von Thunen matter? Why does agriculture matter? Okay, agriculture matters a lot. Why? Half of the people in developing countries practice agriculture. So half of the people in developing countries practice agriculture. Thinking back to the earlier activity you did where you saw how many countries in the world are considered developing countries, that means most. Okay, so most people are practicing some form of subsistence agriculture in this world right now. So that's incredibly significant. Another thing that's significant is that the way that we use space is very much dependent on how we can extract food from it. So that's going to be another reason. We have manipulated space. We have formed cultural landscapes around agriculture. Other things that are important is that it's got site and situation factors that matter. So you can only practice certain types of agriculture based on the site, based on the climate, based on the soil. So all of these different issues with human geo that we've been looking at come together with the most recent one, and I guess perhaps the most interesting one being that a lot of issues that we have and struggle with today regarding sustainability, regarding pollution, regarding just kind of things that we're doing that are toxic for the environment, they're related to agricultural practice. So all of this really comes together. Von Thunen fits in with this because we take what are the natural considerations, the environmental, the physical geography considerations when it comes to agriculture. And so that'll be your climate, that'll be the soil. And then we add the very human element of how are we going to pay for all of this? How are we going to move these things around? Okay. Again, Von Thunen is only commercial agriculture. Because commercial agriculture, we're thinking about where's the market where you're going to sell your products. And with subsistence agriculture, you're not selling a surplus. You're making just enough to survive. Okay, so that's why I always want to make sure Von Thunen, only commercial agriculture. It's like a nice little test. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, and I keep meaning to post Food Inc. They took it off of Netflix, which is stingy, because they know that people are doing e-learning these days. Anywho, all right, so this is the reading that we're going to start with, because if we preview the 6 questions that we really need to have down pat in order to make sure that we know Von Thunen are what's on this first sheet here. Okay, so I'll walk through those. First one, read it for me, buddy. No, sorry, dog joke. Identify and briefly discuss 3 factors which influence the choice of crops produced by commercial farmers. So again, pausing right there. That's the type of thing that would almost be a perfect FRQ question. Because right there, you want each sentence, each approach should be 2 parts. So you have 3 different considerations, and each one is the identification and then the explanation. Looking at that, you might kind of briefly panic off the top of your head, being like, but choice of crops, I don't know what that's all about. But it's really just referring to the different rings. Okay, so if I look at that, I'm like, okay, what factors are going to influence where each ring is located? So maybe I'll just write that down right now. Influence the choice of crops. Influence, let's say, how about actually, how about influence what goes in which ring? Oh, hey, that's awesome. All right, that's good. Okay, perfect. There's another part of this chapter that you would like to review, then we could totally do that as well. Okay. I think that's Michaela. Yep. If there's no? Great. All right. So we got that. This connection of daring to the idea that the commercial farmer needs to have proximity to the market. Okay, that one again, fairly straightforward. So why does dairying need to be close to the market? Okay. That's about it. Which 2 costs is the farmer most concerned with? Okay, so I just can't even think about that off the top of my head. Ooh, okay, ring 1 is dairy produce, 2 force-fed farmer. Yes, perfect. All right, excellent. And so you are dead right, Michaela, there. And so, wait. Ring 2 is not the forest. Sorry, let's bring that one back. Ring 2 is not the forest, even though this is what that says. Dang it. You have the way that you have it listed there is technically right, according to this sheet, even though most of the rings are going to put different forms of agriculture closer. Sorry, this is where memorizing rings gets really annoying because of how different textbooks and different resources set it up. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, all right, well, whatever. You got it, Michaela. I'm going to stop talking now. Cool. So now then, just looking at the back, going to the distance to the market. Why is that so critical? So if you kind of get the general idea of where the rings are, then we're starting to see what the big points are in all of this. So let's just do this together then. Identify and briefly discuss the 3 factors which influence the choice of crops, meaning, so here, if you look at this first page is just explaining the different rings. So if that's something that you do understand pretty well, which it seems like you do, then you're pretty good for right there, right? So then if we want to look at the 3 factors that they're considering, which influence it, then some of that is going to be located on the back, okay? So here, what are we looking at? Land cost. Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm happily do that. Where it's got the FRQ, yep, the command terms, and then how much sentences for each. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Okay. Right, so those are the first 2 big ones that you're going to want to get. Land cost and transportation costs. Okay. All right, and then the other one it's going to be is distance to the city. Mm-hmm. Okay, the other factors that are important to know when it comes to what are they going to plant is going to be environmental, what can you plant there? Cultural, what do people eat? And economic, what can you make money off of? Right. So those are the essential things that you want to keep in mind. Okay. All right. So actually, this is very straightforward. So if it does seem as if you guys have a good idea about it, then maybe I'll shift and I'll talk some more about the FRQs. Okay. So maybe that'll be more helpful. Because that's all I want to do is help you out. Cool. Too much, too much. That's basically what I do with my dog all the time. Okay. So I'm just gonna then go over the FRQ then a little bit. I want to make sure that we know von. Ooh, nope. I want to make sure that you know von Thunen really well, just because it's a very popular topic for human geo. And then if you know von Thunen, then and we know the economic considerations of planting, then it makes looking at other factors easier. From here, we're going to talk about the different agricultural revolutions, which is going to be important in terms of how GMOs became such a big thing. Anyway, so as you were writing, as you wrote the FRQ, whichever one you're at. So awkward. Okay. Where it says the first word there, apply. Anytime you see apply, that's a way of saying show that you know how to use it. So you're just showing that you know how to use it. So step one, if you are answering this, one, make a note of what is it. Okay, and then two, the application is easy. The application is then you know what it is, you identify what's in the pictures, and then you plug it in. That's it. Okay, so anytime you see apply, show that you know how to use it. Okay, what is it? How is it used in this situation? A lot of times apply questions, they're very straightforward, but like it's like if someone asks you how to apply, like gives you something and they say apply this false eyelash. Okay, just by showing, like taking it and putting it up on your lash line shows that you know how to use it. Okay, you might not do a great job with it, but it shows that you know how to use it. Okay, you know what it is, you know how to use it. It's nothing more fancy than that. Okay. All right. Then for the next part, apply, it's the same idea. So to explain the location of the activity. Okay, and explain, pretend you're explaining it to someone who's never heard of it before. Let's write this down. Okay, so you just want to make sure that for that, you're going to pretend you're explaining it to someone who's unfamiliar with it. So you're talking to your best friend and they say Von Thunen's model of agricultural land use. I've never heard of that before. Then you just kind of run down the basics. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. Right? Who, what, where, when, why, and how. Whenever you explain something, you want to hit those major points. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. Good. Excellent. So that's one thing you're going to want to do that. So that's going to be explained. And I will try to add these to that initial PowerPoint I had. And then the last one for the FRQ. Discuss two factors that explain why agricultural land use patterns differ from those developed by Von Thunen's model in 1826. Okay, so for discuss, discuss is usually going to mean that it's not like explain where we have some finite ideas, meaning with explain, you have to get these basics of who, what, where, when, why, and how down. But for discuss, there are a bunch of different factors that you can get into. And so it's not necessarily an absolute right or wrong answer. It's going to be, do you know the big concepts related to it? So for discuss, how would you start that off? You could say, one issue that, and let me go back to the question, helps explain why. Okay, so you could write it like that. One issue that helps explain one reason why and it's not definite. You're just saying that this could affect it because this is something that's different. Okay, so for discuss, there isn't a set number of points that you have to have. You just need to be able to show how these two things can kind of be related to each other. Okay, so that's why if I say discuss how social distancing has impacted your life, then you can have a lot of different answers. If I said explain what social distancing is, then that would be very set. Explain social distancing. Social distancing is isolating yourself from others, making sure that you maintain at least 6 feet of distance from yourself to other people, not leaving the apartment. Those are all ways that you explain what social distancing is. Discuss the effects of social distancing. That's going to be a lot more different options, and your interpretation of it is going to really color how you respond to it. So some of the effects of social distancing are greater sense of alienation and a breakdown of the community. Okay, so that's something that is your individual idea, and then you add an additional sentence to that to explain like how you see that connection. With discuss, the connection isn't always obvious, but with your explanation, you make it clear. Don't know if any of this is helpful, but hey, there you go. Try it. Really out of my element, not being in front of a room. And these are just different. But wherever you're at, I am a firm believer that you all have a lot of ideas and are much better with these types of platforms than your teachers, or at least me. So that's why I'm really hoping to get kind of more guided feedback on things that you would like to go over, things that you would like to do in here. Okay. So anyway, so that's more on the FRQ. Again, going back to this is going to help make sure that your understanding of von Thunen is rock solid, since I'm not going to be giving quizzes on this. Yeah, I'm not giving quizzes on this stuff. With the social distancing order being extended, it doesn't look like we'll be back in school in April. So we probably maybe would be back in May, if at all. So in order to get the most out of this, let's really, I don't know, let's just work together. That's my idea here. Yes, so there's that. I found a bunch of online activities, but they all require Adobe Flash. I will post them either way just to see if that helps. I'm also going to post some PowerPoints that are basically lectures. I'm going to see if through Zoom, if I can figure out how I can walk you guys through the PowerPoints in some way. I'm not a video editor, so I can't make really fun videos for you, and I apologize for that. But going to work on it. But after this month Thunen activity, unless anyone has any questions on it, then I am going to move on to the different agricultural revolutions. So that's my plan right now. Again, I want this to be helpful for you, so just let me know. Kyla seems like she's got it, which I appreciate her. I appreciate all of you. I really hope you're all doing well. I don't know what else to say right now. Yeah, no. Okay. That's it then, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I just want to hang out. No, not really. I don't have like anything else to do, but cool. All right. So let me know what questions and stuff you have. I'm not telling anyone set deadlines on when things are due because I'm not quite sure yet how anything's going to get submitted. It might just have to be submitted through Classroom. I still don't have access to Aspen, so that stinks. But yeah, all right. That's about it. That's all I got. That's all I got. Don't wanna insult people's intelligence. Okay. Well, yes, I will just leave it at that. I don't know if that is helpful. I'm still talking. Okay, anyway, y'all have a wonderful day. I miss you all very much. I hope you're doing well. I hope that you're finding fun ways to still engage with one another while we are social distancing, taking advantage of video chats, TikToks. If you know of any awesome TikToks, please let me know. I still have very little idea how it works, but I really figure I should learn at some point. I'm trying to debate which dance routine I'm going to try to memorize, try to be part of some cultural diffusion myself. But yeah, other than that, have a great day. Please reach out to me with any questions, with just anything. I just want to help. It really kills me not being able to teach this the way it needs to be taught. So yeah, anyway, I appreciate all of you. Have a wonderful day, and I'll be back tomorrow just for the sake of it. All right. Bye.